Games, board games. I might be talking about board games, but I'm not gonna shout. I am talking about BGA, upon which a few games I will play. I love photosynthesis, I love it so much, and although I prefer it with pieces you can touch, I like to ponder the strategy. So digital implementation is totally okay with me. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. 10 a.m.ish UK time. Time for Busy Beats and Board Game Blether. And oops, I need to do a tiny bit of copy pasting. Today I'm going to play through Photosynthesis, Boop, and a few other games on Board Game Arena. If you don't know these games, then I will tell you what I'm thinking of them. I'll tell you my opinions, and hopefully, we'll have some fun together. And like, this is because I don't have much else to say. So if you're here, then expect a bit of chat. If you throw some comments or questions into the chat, then, we'll go off on some tangents. Either way, lots of love, and I hope you're well. But before I get properly into the board game arena stuff, let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. A couple of bits of news. One bit is that one major Kickstarter, Doomlings, encouraged everyone to go and give the game a bunch of ratings and said, hey, if we get this many ratings, we'll give you a stretch goal, which is completely problematic. Encouraging people to give ratings to something they might not have already played, on a Kickstarter, that's not okay. And so what happened is that a whole bunch of things were deleted to try and preserve some integrity to these ratings. Now, it's true that people are allowed to give ratings for whatever reason. I know someone rated Seize the Power 1, and why is that? I mean, they've not played it, they hadn't played it in April. I mean, it was being play tested last year, but the only reason when I looked at the ratings, every single inside the box game got to 1. So that's them being annoyed at the company and giving it to 1. You can't really there's no clear-cut line where you can say, yes, this is okay, this is not okay, and there's lots of problems with it, but telling people, hey, please go and rate my games, and if you do that, I'll give you some extra stuff, or even worse than that, hey, we'll pick some of our favorite reviews and those people get something. I mean, that's not cool. I mean, clearly when it's your favorite reviews, it's going to be the positive ones, but yeah. Anyway, personal highlights. Managed to get out yesterday. It was nice being out. Did a bit of yoga with my friends, Demufu. Like, they were advising me over a video call that was nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I've spent a tiny amount of time pondering the script of Heartstrings, which is a game about sharing things you love, sharing things that you're passionate about, and everyone sticking up their hands if they also feel strongly. The rules will change at some point, but I'll explain all that. And it's a game about making a literal web of connections and thinking about how we are all connected by these shared beliefs or passions. So that's what I'm up to. Let's talk about brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? I think that touch, whether it's touching, a small object, touching, the physical pen, just feeling it, feeling the texture. But more than that, I'm going to talk about the touch of fiber, the touch of a piece of cloth. I mean, this is just a cloth that I use for dusting and stuff. But a piece of wool, it's a lovely thing because it's got this big fibre, and so throwing it's inherently, I believe, joyful. So yeah, as always, feel free to comment, ask questions, fun like follow, and I will crack on. So firstly, remember when. This is a game that I've tried to play a few times, but yeah, it's just kept crashing. I played it with 3, didn't quite work, played it with 3 again, didn't quite work, played it with 4, didn't work, bugged, and played it with 5, and now it's, yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Photosynthesis. This is a game I absolutely adore, and I think I'm currently number 8 in the world at this. So let me talk through my plan. So strategically, what I always see is like at this point in my playing, round 1, as in the first 6 turns, feel like they're becoming a bit scripted, although there is some reactivity to, okay, that opponent's actually got in my way a little bit. Interesting. Round 2, round 1's about establishing your trees. Round 2's about keeping on building up your trees and building up your economy, and there's a possibility of scoring some points, as one player has done already, scored 14 points. And then round 3 is really about, okay, it's too late to grow any more trees, let's just get all of these. Now, what I do when I look at something like this is I'm thinking, how can I make sure that I'm getting enough light on the next turn? So on the next turn, the light's going to come from the left, so it's going to travel to the right. So obviously these two will sadly be, yeah, I'm not going to get any light from them. I'm not doing too well. I'll get light from this one, and this one. So currently I would be getting 1, 2, 3, 4 light. I've got 13 points. So I do have something to play with. Straight away, I'm thinking it's worth me building up that. So I'm getting at least 5 lights. Can I do even better if I increase this one maybe to give me another light, or should I actually sprout another seed? Actually, I have the light points to do both. So let me do that, and let's sprout another seed. So now I'm thinking, okay, given that the light's coming, and morning, Dina, I hope that you're generally well and having a wonderful day. Dina Ramsey is here watching me play. Hello, Dina. And yes, so where should my lights, my new seeds go? Now is the time when I want to be thinking, there's potential growth, there's potential seeds. This is the final steps in my engine. I need to catch up. And I mean, yellow is doing really well, and I'm slightly concerned, although having said that, it's 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. No, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1. I've got 3, 2, 2, 2. It's tight. I mean, it could go either way. But yeah, also Dar in the center, they're going to get more points from that, because the further in the center your trees are, the more points you're getting. So yes, how can I make sure to get myself some light with some new seeds? Okay, maybe I have a new seed here where I think you can all see my cursor. Let me know if you can see my cursor wiggling around. So I'm thinking from this tree, shine it down there, because when it's going this way, boom, I get to a point, boom, get a point. No, I don't get a point, but then I can keep growing it and hopefully advance it into something that not only gives me resources, but maybe even points in the final round. For my, that seems like a good position for one seed. Now, where would the other one go? Again, given that everything's going to come in this way, I could jump in here. That's very close to the center, gives me maximal points, and also coming this way, I get a point. Down that way, it's only 2 out of the 6 directions I don't. So like that seems really good. Yep, I'm going with that. Do 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 do. And yes, indeed, Photosynthesis is a pretty game, especially on the physical version. I was looking back as if it was going to be to hand, but it's just in one of those many, many boxes behind me. And like with these sculptures of these trees, it's truly wonderful. And Dina says, all good here, having a slow morning, taking my time getting up and about. Got a campaign closing today, so I have to do some work today. I hope it's going well with that campaign. But yeah, that is me, and we'll see how this game turns out. And there, yep, one of my opponents got 12 from Photosynthesis. I only got 6, another opponent's got 1, but there's still time to turn the tides. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Okay, this is another game of Photosynthesis. There's quite a few of these on the go. Yes, many, many boxes. Too many boxes. I need to get someone over to help me. This is an open call. If you want to, I will let you stay here for free in return for your time helping me play through games and organize stuff. The current campaign is failing, but we will learn and adjust and then relaunch, as one does. Can't win them all. Yes, 100%. You can't do everything. Okay. This is turn 6 of 6. Honestly, round 3, final turn, there is no decision to be made. All you want to do is clear your trees. And I finished up with 84 points versus 45 versus 46. Although, nope, they're going to have some more points. So someone's going to get like 70. But yep, I won that game. Hooray for me. And it's, as you can see, I finished up with just these 2 small trees. It makes me feel like I've been fairly efficient. I've not generated extra trees, but yeah, doing generally well. Vector Race, thank you very much. Thank you. Vector Race, I'm doing very badly in. Vector Race is a fascinating game. If you like X-Wing and if you like X-Wing and you like that sort of do not boost, and place my card there. And I think I want to stay, maybe speed up a little bit. And yeah, you have to plan with these in the real game. Obviously, they are physical tiles that you put to say how far are you going, which way are you going. And if you're in the main pack, then you get to do attacks on each other and you get to say, haha, you don't get to turn around this way. Haha, I get to slipstream and overtake. Haha, you can't downshift, you can't decelerate. And there's a lot of horrible things you can do if you are in a tight thing. Otherwise, it is a fascinating game of perfect information. I mean, there's no randomness. It's just, can you understand the way that this track plays out well enough? And I've not played this track many times, so yeah, I'm doing quite badly at it. Photosynthesis again. You can tell that to like, yes, Vector Race, definitely an interesting one, definitely one I recommend. Yeah, check it out. Photosynthesis again, one of my favorite games. And yeah, so round 2 of 3, turn 4 of 6, always worth double checking with these turn-based games. Blue's got a lot of stuff, but you see what Blue's done has been a little bit short-sighted. I mean, Blue is going to be blocking themselves 2 out of the 6 turns, and that's before you get into Blue being blocked by other people. I mean, here, Blue's in their worst situation, and next turn, 3 of those are going to be blocked anyway. So again, it's about to go from the left to the right. I'm getting 3 from here, great. This one's not getting any light. So 12 light points is the magical number. 12 light points means I could, and I'm just going to demonstrate because you get an undo in this game, I could cut down that tree and build this up. And boom, now suddenly that's got all these things. But if I were to do that, then suddenly this one would be in shadow. So it's not a good idea at all. And anyway, this one's already receiving light. So really what I want to do is still continue to build up my light points, think about what I can do, because we're still not at the end of the second round. And I've got some big trees. So where can I escape where there's good light? Okay, maybe down here in this corner, or maybe even slightly closer to get like a few extra points, because one step and you get 3 extra points. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. So where can this tree reach? I'm thinking that this tree can't quite reach far enough to be useful. I mean, I could go there, and then I would get light, light, nothing, nothing, light, and nothing, and then light and light. So in the entire rest of the game, there would be 5 turns. And I would be spending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get 4 turns worth of light. So that's clearly a terrible move. So I'm not going to do that. Like, this is the point at the game where I'm kind of trying to analyze the end of it. I am thinking one of these 2 spaces, either one in, which is a little bit more risky. I'm going to play it safe and go out. And then here, I am going to, yep, I think that's a reasonable play. And then with my, oh, because this has already been activated, I can't build it up again. Do I want to do, yeah, that means that I'm kind of offsetting my potential production by 1 turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'm getting 9 lights. This seems reasonable. I am going to, yeah, let's just ponder one last time. And so that's, I'm going there. This one, that's the question. Do I want to grow it, or do I want to build it up? If I grow it, then I get 1 more light straight away, and every subsequent turn. If I build it up, then I potentially get stuff a little bit later, but I can't do both. So you know what? I am going to build it up to get my extra light that's tiny bit faster, and there we go. And what's the current score? 0 for everyone. So yes, photosynthesis, definitely a lot to do. And stretching, stretching, stretching. Hello to me, it's lovely to see you. Stretching, stretching, while I am playing. Stretching, 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 stretching. There we go. As one does. Yes, we all stretch. And hello to me. I hope that you're generally well. This is basically just going to be a lot of me showing off. Yeah, photosynthesis. I told you it's one of my favorite games, right? Now, here I'm thinking as it goes up, I could pump this up to a 3. Like that costs 8 points, 5 to buy the big tree, 3 to place it. I've got 1 left over, and that seems like a nice thing, because then I'm hitting blue for, I'm taking 3 lights away from 3 lights away from blue. That does feel kind of vicious, but I like that idea. I don't see much else to prioritize. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. In your face blue, and then when it wraps back round, that means that I'm going to also get 3 light points, even despite the fact that it's in shade from these trees. We'll see what happens. It all depends on what green does. But yeah, I feel like I'm in a pretty good situation there. Lady's choice. So this is a weird one. Um, Timmy says it's hard to type on the virtual keyboard, not to mention slow. Yeah, I will agree with that. It's definitely faster with a physical keyboard. Are you? I wish virtual keyboards would have predictive text to speed things up. I thought they did. I thought virtual keyboards did have predictive text. Um, yeah, I'm slightly confused. So I've had a designer of this game on the show a couple of times, and there's a lot of questions with, is this a fine game? Is it a socially responsible game? Is it because it's a game that perpetuates a lot of the um, strong, like this whole game's premise is that, hey, women get their choice of gents, and gents only there's like far fewer women to go around. And the way that a gentleman wins in this game is by being a bad person but still getting picked. And the way that the lady gets points in this game is by picking the best gentleman. And then the best is like, okay, very tall foreign prince, professional athletes, and some of the negative things, like the most negative things, are things like kicks dogs and stuff. And like, I need to do a proper review of this at some point. But my problem with it is frankly not from a thematic point of view. But my main problem is just that I think there's not that, yes, the thematic thing of being rewarded for being a bad gentleman and still getting picked. It's an interesting game dynamic, but it doesn't quite. I mean, yes, in real life, I understand it, like you are like it's less likely to be picked if you're a bad person, but you can't just change yourself as quickly as you can in this game. I mean, in this game, yeah, you can change your nature in real life. You can change what you do. You can learn and you can improve yourself as a person. But in this game, it's like, oh, I'm swapping my cards. And before I was a foreign prince and very tall, but now I kick dogs. Ha ha ha. And because you picked me and because I'm a dog kicker, then I'm. And that doesn't feel really great. Um, I mean, it's the Kickstarter campaign that was accused of being ableist. I'm not confident to say that it is ableist. Um, but my biggest problem is that the ease at which you change your characteristics, yes, I understand it's done to make it into a game, but then that totally changes the any real life kind of relationship that it's meant to have. But it also just feels really random, and it doesn't feel that exciting, is the truth. Anyway, I am currently a gentleman, which means that in theory I want to make myself worse, or either I want to boast good things or I want to change the good things to make them worse. And that's, yeah, really weird. I guess I will boast this um just to yeah. I am a foreign prince, just in case they missed that. Back to photosynthesis again. Kind of icky. I believe. Okay, so if I'm talking about this, I should have the correct thing on. Um, it has some less than savoury artwork for deaf people, says Dina. And is it kind of icky? Um, I think maybe, and I think yes, I can. I think that there should be a place for controversial art. I think there should be a place for stuff, but I don't think it's particularly even amazingly done. Um, yeah, and yeah, let me crack on. Congratulations to Timmy for clearing the lens. Well done. Um, I need to take off the categorical shout out. Back to photosynthesis. I've got like about 10 games of this going at a time. I've got my 3 there, 3 of my 2s, and not much else going on the table. It's going to go from the bottom left next turn, so I'll... Oh, yeah, yellow and green have turns before me. So yellow with 10 points could definitely get in my way. Yellow could, pump either one of these up to be a 3, which would cancel one of my 3s, which, yeah, it would be worth them doing that. That would be exactly what I would do if I was in yellow's situation. So realistically, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points next turn, which really isn't great. I feel like I want to build up this little seedling into a tree. I do also think that it's probably worth me building up this to a 3 regardless, just because not only will it help me this round, but also the following round where it's going from left to right, then I will be able to get 3 extra light there. So even though I am tempted to increase this seedling, I am going to jump in here, just because it's going to give me 3 extra points round after next. So yeah, boom. And now yellow's all set to get in my way, but I think I'm still in a decent position, hopefully. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Just One. Just One is a great game, special, and yeah, I'm sorry about your neck hurting, Timmy. Lots of love. Make some tea, Dina. I think you should make tea. Yeah, do it. I mean, keep me on like you're... I enjoy you being here, so keep company. Like, go and make tea. Enjoy your tea. Yeah, do your thing. I mean, even if you have to go, like, it would be nice if you say goodbye, but, like, gonna get bagel from McD's. Well, I hope you enjoy your bagel, and it was lovely to see you, and I hope your neck recovers. Anyway, aw, that's very sweet. I feel very honoured that you want to stick around with me. Thanks, Timmy. So yes, I am playing Just One in French. As you can see, I've still not played it loads. I'm like 10 ELO points. Like someone here is 2,257. Wow. And the thing I really like about this is I can just think of the clue and then find a Google Translate to translate it. And when I see other people's clues, it's like, oh yeah, I can work out what all the words are, and I learn a little bit of vocabulary. So tab. So tab as in table, I'm thinking leg. I can't remember what... Do they have table legs in French? And here is where I show my... What is table leg in French? No, I want pied, le pied de table. There we go. And I thought pied was foot, and jambe was... that makes sense, like the foot of the table. You could have le... What did you know? Tab. I'm going to go with pied, and hopefully our team will manage to get this. I just love Just One, and it works really well turn-based. And if you want to invite me to a game of Just One in English or in French, then I will absolutely play turn-based Just One with anyone. It's like you jump in for a moment, and then it's like, oh, what word will I give them? And then the one time when you have... Yes, you have me on Board Game Arena. I just added you like a few days ago. Yeah, invite me to a game of Just One, absolutely. I'm trying to cut down on how many games I've got going, because while I was I'm coming out of some bad depression, which reminds me, I'm going to actually, take things. But yeah, get le bagel avec bacon. Bacon isn't bacon in French, is it? Tomate. I can't remember what bacon actually is in French, but le tomate. Tomate. It's tomate with an E at the end instead of O. But yeah, if anyone wants to add me on Board Game Arena, I am Stuffed by Bez, as you might have guessed. Yes, my favourite game, Photosynthesis. Yes, you can see that we've moved on and I've got a good amount of light. I've got 14 lights. This is the magical number. With 12 lights, you can get rid of one of your big trees and replace it, but I'm not going to do that because now is not yet the time. Now is still the time for last time you... So I'm going to first... the order of operation really matters. So here I build up this little tree, which means now if I get this seed, then the seed is cheaper to plant. And I am going to put this seed maybe here, or like I'm thinking the light's going to shine downwards, so anywhere on the top row would be good, and then that way, and then that way, and then that way. So at this point, actually, I'd rather be in competition with this green thing rather than in competition with myself. And then this blue's for... So yeah, I think the correct place for me to place it is right there. Boom! In your face, people. Sorry, I'm being very competitive and argumentative. I hope you don't think badly of me. I am also going to build up this tree because I've got 9 points left. It's going to take me 6 points. Yep, that'll be fine. 6 points to... Oh no, I can't do that because I just... What am I doing? I'm losing track of stuff. I need to undo that. Oh, my gosh. I do apologize. Thank goodness that this has a really nice undo system. Yeah, so I've already used these 2 trees. Now, what else am I going to do? Am I going to... I can't grow my 2s to freeze. This is the point of the game. This is a part of the game where you start to get into the constraints of how many trees can you. Jambon. Yes, jambon is ham. Thank you very much. Be competitive. It's a different side of you. Good to see. Thank you. But yes, around turn 2, you get into a place where you have your 2 threes and you have your 4 2s. And like, I don't yet have my 4th 2, so like I've only got 3 of my size 2s. I feel like I'm slightly underperforming, but then blue's doing even worse. So haha, sorry. I feel really evil. But I could, grow something. Now, like just a new seedling. I think it's worth making a new seedling potentially. I mean, I can't grow this, I can't grow this, and none of the 2s I can grow to a 3. And so where should my new seedling grow? I am thinking here might be a good shout, because then it gets light on the next turn, not the turn after that, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, the turn after that, and the turn after that, and I might be able to line it up so that this is slightly more. So yeah, I think that having one last seedling, and then no more. Okay. This is the last seedling I will ever make in this game. Yeah, because after this, I mean, you don't want to waste your lights. No, you only want to make seedlings, either if they're going to give you a net return. I mean, think about it. You're making your seedling, so that's 1, 2, to make it into a small tree, 3, 4, 5, 5 points. So if you're not getting 5 turns of light from it, it's an absolute waste. The only time when it's not is if you're then going to turn it into points. And so, yeah, at this point, I'm just going to double check that I'm not going to go over 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, I'm going to get up to 19 points of light. So that's totally fine. If I was about to get up to 20, then I would consider grabbing one of these trees, because you don't want to end with stuff in your reserve necessarily. And I do think that that's one thing about the game, that I think it's an arguably unnecessary complication. I mean, I'm fine with it, but I see other people struggling with that slight obstacle. Um, I'm glad that you're loving the breakdown. Thank you. Yeah, we welcome the overly competitive side of Bez. Boop. This is a game that I am okay at. I'm not amazing. I mean, photosynthesis, I'm like number 8 in the world, but yeah, this one I'm okay at. So Boop have enjoyed quite a bit of. It's really nice. What you do is you play a cat, and I will just show you how it goes. Once you play a cat, everything moves away. So if I did that, they would go boop, and everything moves away. But if I move that, then this goes boop. I mean, it doesn't actually make a noise. You need to make that noise yourself if you want to make. So I am grey, and I need to think, how am I going to make a line of 3? We are in the end game situation. I have more cats. My opponent has a similar number of pieces on the board. I would like to go there, which would move this cat over here, which then puts 2 in a row, which means that I could get the 3 in a row and win. Because if you go where there's something behind your cat, there's no boop, because it can't boop, so there's no free space to move. But if I were to go there, then the orange would go down, and that's handing my opponents the win. So clearly that's a terrible move. So yeah, what do I do? What do I do? I mean, I'm not just being facetious, it's genuinely a difficult decision. I mean, this, even though it looks really bleeping cute, this is like really brain burning. And what do I do? So maybe I push it down, and then I could go there on the next turn and then slide that in. Actually, if I push this down, then on my neck, this seems like a good move. Moving this down. And then on my next turn, if my opponent doesn't get in my way, which they should get in my way, come on, it's a competitive game, then I would be able to move this grey up to the up left, and then boom, I would win. But obviously my opponent's not going to let that happen, because that's the joy of a competitive game. So yeah, I'm excited by that. And it is a kind of Pusheen looking cat. And the noise mandatory, yep. Oof. -4. I'm not happy for you. I'm so sorry. I'm actually going to check when tomorrow the weather in London is 14 degrees. Today it's sunny. I am looking forward to doing the my outside game. I will tell you all about that in a minute, but it's 17 degrees today. I think that it makes me appreciate what I have. And yeah, I'm sorry that you've got horrible weather. You should come and join me in Thailand sometime, Timmy. Anyway, so I am grey. I've got 1 kitten and 2 cats. You see, cats are better than kittens in this game. And the kittens, well, it's not necessarily always true. Like, the kittens can boop the kittens, but the cats can boop everything. So clearly I need to get in the way of this 2 in a row, because if I don't, my opponents would be able to go here and make 3 in a row, which is the ultimate objective, to make 3 cats in a row. The other thing that you're doing in this game is you're advancing the kittens to the cats, and that gives a really nice, all the rules feel intuitive, and advancing brings about alternate strategies. And if you have all of your stuff on the board, you get to advance one of your things. And if you have 8 cats on the board, that's an alternative way to win. So in theory, at some point, I might have to boop these 2 cats off the board just to ensure my opponent doesn't win. But is there a way that I can go here and get in my opponent's way? I mean, I could go here, which would boop my opponent's cats there and there, but also I'm going off the board, which is not great. Not great. Not great at all. I mean, I could go there, I guess, and then it goes up there and there. And also, it would mean that I'm not booping myself off the board, which might be nice. And it also means that if they don't get in my way, I'm potentially get. So I'm going to go there. So as you see, I've disrupted their potential line of free. And next turn, if they don't do anything, I would put a either. So I'm thinking a kitten here, advance all of those to cats. We'll see how that goes. And so, yeah, I got +3 for once. Oh my gosh, I mean, wow. I'm glad that I'm moving to Thailand and not like Nova Scotia or Finland or where. Like, yeah, wow. Just 3 degrees centigrade. Are you like literally, are you basically almost freezing? Is that, wow. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy your bagel and yeah. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Come over to Thailand. It's cheap, it's warm. If you can work remotely, then it's brilliant. Okay, so boom. Check my hand. Yep. Seems like a weird thing to tell everyone to check their hand, but sure. This is a climbing game similar to Tichu, similar to Cho Tai Ti, big number 2, and where we're doing, it's not quite tricks because it keeps going in an escalation of bids on a style of things. But yeah. Dragonwood. I've got 2 games of this going. This is a lovely kids game. And am I there already? No, I am in London still. I am, yeah. I mean, I think 17 degrees would be very cold for Thailand. And yeah, I'm glad. But yeah, do you know this game? This game is Dragonwood. Dragonwood is a game about simple probability. And honestly, on this turn, all I'm going to do is draw a card. So turn-based, a lot of the turns feels like, oh, I don't get to do much. But once you're okay with that, I mean, like if you've got lots of turn-based games going on, it's fine. And there's fundamentally 2 things you can do. Either you can draw a card, which, as far as I can tell, unless the game's about to end or there's something here that you really absolutely want to go for before the other player goes for it, just keep drawing until you've got like 7. Because the hand limit is 9, and there is 1 card that gets everyone to draw 2 extra cards. So potentially, if you've got 8 or 9 cards in hand, then you've got a wasted card. But you want more cards to be able to use them to grab these things. Now, if you do the alternative thing, which is to grab one of these things, you either need the numbers in a row, or the same number, or the same color. And so in this instance, if I look at my cards, I could have, well, the 11, 12, I could strike with 2 cards. And every card that you use, every adventurer, allows you to roll with 1 die. And if I screamed with 3 cards, then I would be rolling 3 dice. And if I had, and obviously it's harder to get the same number, which is why typically stomping with the same number, it's a lower number. So like here, the stomp is 9 because you're far less likely to get 3 cards of the same number than 3 cards in a numbers in a row or 3 cards of the same color. So yeah, but there's another little ring. So firstly, how do you use your cards? There's a lot of probability management. Of course, it's dice rolling. There's a lot of luck, but I do want to try to win at least 1 game. And I played once, lost it, and now I think I've got like 3 games on the go, hoping to win at least one of them. And I'm trying to eventually get 100 yellow in every single game. But then you've got these little purple cards, and the purple cards give you bonuses. Like this one, my Cloak of Darkness, +2 points to all capture attempts, which is quite exciting. I mean, it depends what excites you, but I feel happy about having that. And yeah, I've only got 4 cards. My opponent has 7, and so maybe my opponent's winning. I don't know. The points only get revealed at the end, so for all I know, maybe my opponent has lesser value stuff. I can't remember. I mean, in theory, I could have taken notes, but yeah, it's not that kind of game. And Dina says, I tried Dragonwood some time ago, and gonna get bagel, gonna drive, I'll still be able to hear. Just drive safe. Don't be looking at the screen, I guess. But yeah, I hope that you enjoy your bagel avec le jambon et tomate, although jambon means ham rather than bacon. Seen empty branches for 8 months. In Spiel in Essen, there were empty branches. Wow, that is really amazing. I mean, you've got empty branches for most of the year. That doesn't seem great. We've had leaves on the trees for most of the year here, I would say, in London. I mean, London's not a cold place compared to 50 miles outside of London. I mean, London has its own microclimate because there's so many people here. It literally warms up the city. I'm not just saying that. I mean, literally, if you go to the countryside, like if you go to like 100 miles up north, it's so much colder. And then if you go, yeah. So anyway, Dragonwood again. Yeah, I'm just going to reload and grab a card. Like I said, go up to 7 cards and it's fine. So this is a game that I've sung the praises of a lot. Redstone, it's a Go variant, and I think that this is basically as good as Go. Although basically what Redstone does is if you capture pieces, the piece that you capture with is red. And my opponent has surrounded these whites. So I'm not going to capture myself. Why would I capture myself? I mean, it almost feels like something where you want to say, like, are you really sure you want to capture yourself? That's a weird move. I mean, I had one game where it was like, hey, are you sure you want to do this? This feels like a terrible move to make. I think it was in La Granja. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the game telling me, hey, this is a really, really bad move. Maybe don't make it. And yeah, I'm going to place here, just so now I've got my 2 eyes. So the tactics are very similar to Go, where you're trying to establish territory, but the end game is a little bit different. Unlike Go, where if we were playing Go, we would stop the game at this point, and we would be like, okay, that's the game. How many points of territory do you have? How many points of territory do I have? But in Redstone, there's a whole end game which feels functionally different. I've only played it through, I mean, I don't know how many times. I say only like 8, something like that. But like with a good abstract strategy game, you want to play it like 100 times before, like, yeah, this is really good. Like a good abstract strategy game is a set of rules that is worth exploring. I mean, Go as a game survives like tens of thousands of plays. It's really solid. It survived like thousands of years of analysis. And the small change here, in theory, it makes it's slightly more fiddly in the end game. It's maybe arguably slightly weirder to explain, but it takes out the corner case because Go has a rule in it to avoid stalemates called the core rule, where you can't revert the board back to a state where it's already been. And so, yeah, my opponent is winning. So we'll see. But like, there's a whole end game where maybe my opponent isn't as familiar with the end game. Maybe I'll be able to work it out. And is it as good as Go? Like, I don't know. It might be, but like, I need to play it at least another 10 times to decide. And my initial things were like, oh wow, this is really cool. But then, yeah. Senate. Well, that's literally the only move I can make. Oh, wow. That's lucky. Now it's just going to be a case of, do I roll a 3 before my opponent rolls their stuff to get off the board? Senate does really remind me of backgammon. I think it's a nice abstract dice rolling game. There's a tiny bit of skill in it. It is mainly luck. I mean, the skill ceiling feels really low. It's inferior, I guess, if you added a doubling cube like in backgammon, that would increase the skill ceiling. But yeah, you can really see how it's a precursor of backgammon, and the idea of, hey, I've managed to lock my opponents in here and all that, but it's all done on a one-dimensional board as opposed to backgammon where you can stack multiple things on one space. It's really cleverly done. I mean, I think that this is actually a possible version of the rules because we're not quite sure what the rules. Let me know when you decide. I will. I will try to remember, and I'll certainly make a wee video about it at some point. Ah, Silo. I'm really enjoying this. This is another game by Mark Steer, the same designer of Redstone. And what you've got to do is you've got to try and get all your things in one column. Now, it might look as if I'm winning as black, but I don't know if I am. Because as soon as there's one thing in the way, I mean, I'll get my thing on there, and then eventually I'll have to move this. Like, it's really simple. You just move the top piece of yours off any pile. So my opponents could move this yellow piece, and then if they move that yellow piece, the black moves with it. And I'm probably going to leave the black on it rather than moving it off, so that I want to make my column here rather than here, because if I make it here, then all of these pieces have to move slightly less. But at the same time, there's a point in the game where you want to kind of waste moves, because if my opponent has to eventually move this piece off the board, then they won't be blocking my column anymore, and then I'll be able to win. So it's almost like I want them to take extra moves, which is a really weird thing. It's like, haha, eventually you have to get out of my way. And it's like you want to leave your things in your opponent's way for as long as possible. But yeah, it's really fascinating, really fascinating. And I think that I've no idea who's winning, which I enjoy. I'm still moving around, and have I actually won it? Well, I've won it a few times. I'm yellow 169, but there's a strong skill ceiling there. The bagel's gone at the red light. Well, I hope you enjoyed let's actually see what it is. Bacon and tomato bagel. Le bagel, bacon et tomate. Apparently bacon is bacon in French. There we go. Oh, I'm winning. I am green, and this is a negative game. So this is ultimate tic-tac-toe, and there's a whole bunch of options which change it a lot. So I think this, so you can have 3x3, you can have 4x4. Typically, ultimate tic-tac-toe, what happens is whichever place you play on, so if I play on this space, if I play on the top right square, my opponent then has to play on the top right grid. If I play on the middle bottom square, my opponent has to play on that corresponding grid. And if I play somewhere where the grid has already been finished, then my opponents can play literally anywhere. Now, in this version, normally you're trying to make 3s in a row. In this version, you're trying to avoid doing 2x2 squares. So at a certain point, it's just like, oh, I can't work out how to avoid making a 2x2 square. And it's Again, another fascinating thing, by changing the win condition to 2x2 square rather than 3 in a row or 4 in a row, and turning the inverse game on, it's completely different. I mean, it feels like a family of games rather than just one. And so, yeah, in any case, it's well worth playing around with. Morning, Ian. It is lovely to see you. Thank you for joining in. I hope that you're generally well. Lots of love. Stretching time, stretching time, stretching time, rise and shine, stretching time, left and right, back and front, and stretching time, stretching time. Make sure to stretch, and I'm doing a little wiggle even though you can't see me. But yeah, I'm probably going to change my top because I feel like I want to wear something more red. And yeah, this is kind of a bit maroon and also white. Anyway, but yeah, talk about that in a wee bit. Photosynthesis, back to one of my favorite games. Yeah, photosynthesis. Round 2 of 3, turn 3 of 6. Okay. I think I'm in a good position. Everyone's got 0 points. I've got 2 threes, 2 and a 1. They've got 2 threes. Oh, 2 and a 2. But I've got 2 threes, 2 and a 2. Oh, interesting. We've all decided to go with not that many pieces. That is genuinely interesting. But next turn, I'm going to be down 3 light points. That's not good. I think my initial thoughts are, well, I need to grow this. I need to start getting some light from it. And my other thoughts are, well, I need to grow this and start getting more light from that. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would use all 8 of my points. Is that the best way to use my points? I mean, just to show you what I'm doing, it would be like, so that feels like a perfectly reasonable thing to do. I get 1 point there, a bonus point there, but maybe there's an alternative. Okay, so light's coming up here. Maybe, no, can't quite reach the good position. That's, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with that. Grow the trees, and maybe they'll attract some birds and bees. Grow the trees. You haven't played photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a lovely thing, and yes, this top is a tiny bit too maroon, and also too much white, although it is a nice thing considering it's quite bright. But yeah. So, what did people say? Ah oui. Je pense que monde pour le nombril de monde. This is a totally different French just one. So, couper, tête, cigare, révolution, and we got guillotine. Yeah, but I'm really impressed that they managed to score the point, even though they didn't get the word revolution. Vassal. What does vassal mean? Vassal. Vessel. Really? That feels like a really advanced word. Vessel? Okay. So container? Maybe I'll use the word container, yeah. Container, vessel, I mean, I'm thinking ship. Vessel, I mean, obviously, and I'm just using Google Translate when I'm struggling with the wings. So, fuck. Pardon. Oh, I put that into chat. I wish I could. Oh, pardon moi. Um, that's terrible. Like I typed it into the chat rather than the thing. Tabarnak. Mm, that could have been a clue. Just got home. Hope you enjoy your home time. I mean, it must be really early. Are you going to sleep at this point or are you just staying up? Oh, I am orange on this game and I've got lots of cats. So maybe I want to move this one here. If I go boop, then yes, I boop my kitty off, but I've also got my two cats in a row. So that means that I am threatening um, three in a row, which seems good. I mean, if I just keep threatening three in a row and then I fill up the board with my cats, eventually I would win. Let's see if that happens. Ah, yes, we're playing Redstone on a big board just to see how different it feels from Go, if at all. And the truth is that I mean, for 80% of the game, it really doesn't feel different. My opponent has like an interesting barrier. I'm thinking like going here because then I'm kind of getting some territory there. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not like an expert. I don't consider myself great at this game like I do at Photosynthesis. Ah, Squadro. This is one of the Gigamic Wooden Abstract games. Going to try to stay up until 10 p.m. Yeah, I hope that works out for you. I hope that, you can get that sounds like a reasonable way to get yourself back onto a decent sleep schedule, or maybe like, 9 p.m., at least when it's dark again, at least when it's dark. Anyway, so Gigamic, obviously I'm biased because they publish Yogi, which, nope, it's not within hand's reach. But they've got Corridor, which is one of my favorites abstracts games, Quantic, lots of things with a Q in them, and Squadro. Squadro, if you've not played it, you've got these little pieces, and they've actually got the direction, so you can see this one's going left. I am yellow, actually, by the way, in case you weren't sure. And this just shows the last piece that has been played. You've got to get 4 out of your 5 pieces to go off to the board and back. While it's traveling there, you use this number of dots to determine how far it goes. So if I click this one, it would travel 1 square, then 1 square again, then 1, but you can jump pieces. So if this one were to go 1 square, then this piece, which can travel 2 squares, would go on it and then move 1 extra space, which doesn't really matter for my opponents because they will go over because the journey is 6 squares long. If they're going 2 at a time, it's going to take them 2 more steps, whether they travel 3 and then 1 or 2 and then 2. But much to my chagrin, whereas I've spent 3 turns moving my thing up there, that will all be totally undone, and I will be a little bit unhappy about it. So yeah, I really want them to move up here, and for me to leave this piece as a threat, so that I'm like, haha, as soon as you move your piece up there, I'm going to move up. So what I'm thinking is, yeah, this feels like my 3 could go up there and start the journey back. That feels like a really sensible move. That feels like absolutely the best move. And now that it's moved up there, now the number 1 spot, it will have to move 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Of course, by the time it gets here, it could capture this if that was there, but it won't be. And also, the one dangerous thing is if my opponent were to capture this one, but by leaving this 2 space here, I'm threatening to capture this one if it moves forward. So I think I'm in a strong position. We'll see what happens. We will see. Ah, yes. Senate, I think it's a balance between moving this one away, making it less likely to be captured, and moving this forwards, because right at the end, you need very specific numbers to come off the end. And so I like to try and get one of my pieces to the end. That's just how I play. I have a chagrin. You're so cute. Senates, I have an actual copy of this. Really? Got from Hash Slice. This is, yes, this is Spots, which is a cute game. And I am playing the off-the-leash variant. And this game has a very interesting amount of push your luck, where the push your luck isn't, hey, you go, do you want to keep going? Yes, keep going, keep going, keep going. It's a kind of, everyone's got their own thing that they're trying to push, but the push your luck goes from turn to turn, and it's a bigger arc over the entire game. It kind of reminds me of Ink and Gold, where it takes multiple turns to say, well, at this point, oh, I'm keeping on going. Okay, let's everyone have another turn. Okay, I'm keeping on going. But here you've got your own pieces, you've got your own dogs, and you're trying to fill up all of these empty spots with dice. If I roll a 5, a 1, and a 6, I would win this game straight away. So I could go there and run, and if I roll a 5, a 1, and a 6, I would win the game. But if I rolled something else, I would have to bury them. And if I get more than 7 spots in my buried dice, I bust. So yeah, the question is, maybe I'll beg and take treats. But what's on my opponent? Yeah, my opponent is a little bit behind. So I'm going to beg and take treats. So I've now got 9 treats. And the nice thing about treats is treats allow you to re-roll everything. So it's a balance between, do you want to stop and claim, where I could have stopped and claimed these 3 dogs, which means that they would never bust. Because if you go bust and you have more than 8 spots in your buried dice that you are unable to use, more than 7, then you lose all of these. But if you claim them, then that's obviously good. But if you claim them, then the other interesting tactical thing is that these little paw marks disappear. And the paw marks give you special abilities like, hey, take extra treats. Or there's one where you're able to change the numbers on your buried dice. So you might even either be able to help yourself or to antagonize the opponents, which is my favorite thing to do because I'm nasty like that. And I need to play it on Board Game Arena now. Are you talking about Senates, I assume, rather than Spots? Yeah, Senate's a fine game. It's all right. It's probably going to be one that I stop playing after this. I think Spots, I'm undefeated at. Seem to be pretty good. Wizard, I'm terrible at. As you can see, negative 180. I want a trick. This could be the first time. This could be like one of the rare times I actually win. Wizard is a really unforgiving game. In Wizard, what you've got is you've got an increase. Look at the score. I managed to score once. This was so. You've got a number of cards, and Wizards beat everything, and then there's a trump. And if there's no trump played, then it's just a higher card of the original suit. And it's a Wizard is kind of like, oh hell, as Uno is to Crazy Eights. It's a re-implementation, a commercial version of a game that's already existed with a traditional deck of playing cards. Each turn you get more and more and more cards in your hand until you get to the end, and then it's a 60 cards deck. So at the start it's just, hey, you've got 1 card. Do you think you will win 1 trick or 0? And if you bet correctly, then you win 10 points per trick plus a bonus. If you bet wrongly, then you get negative for everything that you're wrong by. And so yeah, it's basically understanding the values of all of these cards, being able to analyze your initial hand properly, and clearly that's not something that I'm very good at. But yeah, Wizards. Je ne comprends pas. This is wizard. I said wizard. It's literally called wizard. 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 Anyway. Here's another trick-taking game. We're playing it team versus team. I think my team is losing. So let's go in with the ace. Hopefully that will win. We'll see. And yay, my team seems to be doing well. We've got 210 points versus 0. Collaboration. So well, I think I can only play. I think there's literally only one card that I'm able to play, so that's not much of a what. Hearts. Yes, the old standard game of hearts. Yep, clearly wants. Oh no, this isn't hearts. This is Sparts. In this game, sometimes you're playing spades, sometimes you're playing hearts, and you kind of look at your original hand and you decide, is this a good hand? Like a high value hand, in which case maybe I want to play spades, or is it a low value hand, in which case I want to play hearts? And it's that, do I want to win all the tricks or lose all the tricks? And that's interesting. Yes. Boiler. Ooh, nice. So I am playing couple. We could go chance. Chance. So couple, obviously I'm biased. This is one of the games for the L deck. And if you just try to win, it is a can you beat your own score kind of game. What I typically aim for is getting 11 or more. If I get 11 or more, then I feel like, yeah, I've done really well. There are certain people that I play with where I know that we're not going to do well. Maybe English isn't their first language, maybe the game just isn't gelling, but there's at least one person who does, not brilliantly, but they keep enjoying it, so they keep coming back. I try to have a few one or more games open so that anyone who fancies can join in. And so if you ever fancy playing it or trying it out, then just check it or just chuck me an invite. So on your turn, you're allowed to move these up and down as much as you want. And you've got to try and spell a word. So I could spell the word soil, and I'd get 1 point for that because you get your word length -3. So ditch free, get 1 point. If I had soiled, like someone soiled their pants, and then that would be 3 points. And yeah, that feels like a decent thing. I think that broiler is a word. I was actually thinking boilers would be a good thing, but then let me reset selection. So you can do 3 possible things. I could click a card of my partner and move it in their hand. I could take one of my own cards and give it to my partner, or I could claim a thing, and I only get 2 actions. And so it's about thinking what words are almost kind of playing with what comes up, adapting to what's there, and being aware of all the permutations of all the words. So yeah, broiled or broiler seems really good because boilers, S is just so useful. So I am actually going to give my partner chance, and and then I'm going to write a wee message saying, thinking broiler for me, for you, granted. Is broiler a word? Now I'm doubting myself. I'm going to go to Merriam-Webster because it uses the broiler. Yep, broiling. Yep, it's definitely a word. No. Soloist. Yeah, I guess. What did I play last time? Okay, I won with the spades, and someone played the 10 of spades. Maybe I'll keep playing the spades. I don't know. See what happens. Yes, black's doing well. You've seen this game before. White isn't going to lose there until white commits suicide and has to start playing in their own area. I'm thinking that, like, I'm slightly surprised black has completely ignored this. I mean, if they ignore me for too many more turns, you know, I might be able to establish life. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 turns, though, to be fair. That's a lot of turns for them to keep ignoring me. I mean, I'm sure they'll play in at some point. Boop. I am orange and... Oh no, I don't have that many cats. That's not good. I need some more. I need some more cats. Okay. Maybe I will just chuck this in here. Maybe at this point, I am going to try to play for having everything on the board. We'll see how that works. I feel like my opponent might get in my way, but we'll see. We will see. Boop. I am grey. Okay, so I want to get in my opponent's way here, I guess, so that they don't advance. Let's go and boop. And couple. What were we playing? Borrows. Oh yeah. Borrows is a good word. And I'm still behind. So my favorite, should I wash the body? Yes, I think do it. Get yourself ready, and you have my full blessing and encouragement to go off and wash your body. I think you can do it. Yeah, it'll keep you awake. It'll maybe make you feel refreshed if you're planning to stay awake. Do I know what part of Thailand I'm moving to? Bangkok. Bangkok, that's where I'm going. Yeah, it's the capital. There's lots of people. Hoof. I almost have hoof. No, I don't actually almost have hoof. There would need to be 2 movements. Bottle. Bill. Bulls. Oh, Bill. Oh. Bull. Bulls could be a thing. Yeah, bully. Bullet. I like what my partner's saying. Ideas. Let's see what comes out. The thing I like about couple is because you need to work together and because there's the pressure to keep your scores identical, it feels very much a game about communication and working together. Honestly, I thought about leaving the country, but I don't know how to move all my stuff. Barely scrape by in Canada because the cost of living is so high now. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, moving stuff is definitely a pain in the posterior. I'm going to sell or get rid of the vast majority of my stuff. So yeah, I'm going to have a giant sale, and I found out someone's opening a shop. They're going to buy like maybe 70 or odd of my games. I'm going to probably have some, big sale at my leaving party. But yeah, the question is like, how much stuff do you really need? Because if you can make do with a laptop and little enough stuff that you can fit it into your rucksack and suitcase and you can literally wheel it down the road, that's the dream. Because then once you've got like everything light enough that you can just move it around, then yeah. Okay, so here, this is a 2-player game. I've got 20 light points, so next turn I am going to definitely doing the switcheroo like that. And yeah, that seems like the best move. And next turn I'll get, oh wait, I made a mistake. It's going to come this way next turn, not that way. I thought for a moment it was going to come from the top left, in which case I should totally leave that as a 2, so I keep getting 2 more things from it, and change either of these 2. So I guess I'm going to increase the one that's closer to the center also, because yeah, that gives me a couple more points. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, so I'll go up to 18. That seems like a good plan. End my turn. Get up to 18, and I will increase this by... The thing I do like about playing 2 players is it's kind of like you get 2 turns in a row. And if you're playing turn-based, then it's like, yeah, I get to do a big chunk of stuff. So I'll remove that from the board and put it back on here. And in the final turn, I'm just going to be taking those 2 things off for a whole bunch of points. And QKJ. Oh, I won the trick. Amazing, with my ace of spades. Ace of spades, ace of spades. Let's go with the H of hearts. Yeah, it's a weird deck. There's a few extra things. Scat. This is a hard game. Yeah, I'm not winning that. Let's play that diamond, and boop. I'll stop after. Oof, that's dangerous mode. Yep, my opponent's doing well there. And Martian chess. Martian chess, for those who don't know, is one of the games invented by Andy Looney for the Pyramid Arcade. And I think, my best move is doing this. So the interesting thing about Martian chess is that it's not like you have a certain color. Everything on this side of the board is my opponent's. Everything on this side of the board is mine. So with the queen, it goes all the way to the other side. But then as soon as it goes there and I take a piece with my queen, then my opponent owns the queen, and that's like obviously, yeah, tricky. And if my opponent with these 2 queens was to move forward and take this little drone, then I would have the queen and I would take back their queen and I would get more points, because it's all about how many points values of pieces have you taken. So yeah, it's a lovely wee thing, and that's my me playing through a whole bunch of things. Our rent costs in Thailand decent. I looked at an Airbnb for the most expensive place in Thailand, and it was like 1,000 per month. In a cheaper area, you can probably get away with 300 per month, and then just like take a 20-minute tube ride to get to the expensive area. So yeah, it's way cheaper than any English-speaking country, to be honest. But, well, I say that, but I think in Nigeria, English might be the official language, but it's way cheaper than Canada or the UK or Australia or America. Average for my city is about 600, says Dina. I mean, average for my city is, I don't know. I don't know what the average is, but yeah. And yeah, exactly. Like the reason that I'm moving there is because of the money. But at this point, I am going to wrap up because I've been streaming for almost 90 minutes. And as you know, with my daily streams, I typically make them relatively short. So at this point, let me ask question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. My question of the day is, if you could have chocolate right now, what percentage cocoa would you want? I like something in the high 70s or low 80s, something between 75 to 85 for taste is my favorite. I do feel like I do enjoy sometimes the really high cocoa percentages, like 99, 90, 100, like that kind of thing where you just have a wee square and you really feel like, oh, I've had a good hit. But what's your favorite cocoa percentage in chocolate? That's my question. And Dina says, like, if you go to the big cities, it would be more like 1K. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for watching. I don't like chocolate. I don't know what to say. 70%. That's a good cocoa percentage. That's a good. Yeah. Well, thank you for being brave enough to admit that you don't like chocolate. It's an unpopular opinion, but I know that some people share it. So thank you for sharing that you don't like chocolate. And at this point, over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but if you want to. I have one thing that I am actually being commissioned to do, so it's a good reason to get out the house. I am going to first, after this, I've already had my shower and I'm already, these are my daytime clothes. These are not my nighttime clothes. So I'm going to go off. I'm going to go to the pharmacy. I'm going to enjoy the sunshine, and I'm going to be pondering my script because I am doing a sort of interactive theatrical performance where people have wool. I'm just grabbing some wool. Here's the wool. Now I've grabbed some wool. So, yes, the way the game works is one person starts with a ball of wool, we tie it around the wrist, and then they shout something they love, and then they throw the ball to someone else. And as the game progresses, we will literally make a web of connections, and it's hopefully something that's kind of heartwarming. In Now Play This, which is a festival about all sorts of games, digital and non-digital, we are playing games to do with love. And this is about things we love, about the connections that bring us together. And then at the end, it's about the slight differences that bring us apart. So yeah, I'm excited to get out, to ponder that. I'm going to go over the script in my head, and I've got to treat it really seriously because it's and yeah. Good range of preference there, says Dina. Gonna wash body, then try to stay awoken for 12 hours. I hope it works out. Dina's going to enjoy the sunshine, and I'm glad that the game sounds like fun. If we are thinking of playing it very briefly on the Thursday as a sort of all the busybodies getting to know each other thing, which would be nice. I've been told that the end game feels a little bit too sad, but then at the same time, I would rather that it was sad than boring or uninteresting. So yeah. Oh, you're going to Cambridge. What are you doing in Cambridge? What's going on there? I hope you do have good weather. But yeah, at this point, if there's anything that you want to share, anything you want to do, something that you need to do, please share. I promise I care. And recap and wrap up before we finish up. So to recap and wrap up, actually, I'm going to show off my profile and my wait. Oh no. Wait. So in terms of games played, I am on Photosynthesis. I am number 40, but in terms of how good I am, I'm apparently number 8, which I feel quite proud of. And I just want to point out spots, 12 games, 11 victories. So not the best, but still pretty good. And yeah, conversely, Boop, 30 games, 13 victories. So I'm not particularly good at it. Just to put some context into how good or bad I am at these things. Yeah, don't necessarily listen to everything I said about Boop, but Photosynthesis, I am undefeated at the 2-player game, and yeah, I've only lost a few 3-player games. But yeah, I enjoyed playing those games. I hope that you enjoyed watching, and I hope that wait, let me do this screen. I hope that you have a lovely day. It's been nice talking through it. I think that I might actually also, before I skedaddle, cook something for myself. I've got 2 aubergines. I know it's a lot of aubergines, but I'm going to cook both of them. And I'm going to add most of a red onion because, and then, yeah, I'm going to, yeah, that's going to be my breakfast / lunch before I cycle over. I'm going to aim to be there at 2 because I need to run my event at 3. And I know if I aim for 3, I'm going to end up late. But yeah, that's me. Friends and games, that sounds lovely. Aubergine is so yummy. Grilled? No, I've not grilled aubergine. Do you think I should grill it? Do you think I should bake it? Could I bake it? Could I slice it and then just put it into the oven, or do I still need to put oil on it? Tell me. Because normally what I was thinking of was just kind of putting it in the pan and stir-frying it for a while. I should grill it. I don't have a grill. I've got an oven. Like, I can oven it. So if you think I could bake it, then I could do that. Do I need to put oil on it? Let me know. I need to know these basic things. I mean, don't assume my knowledge. It reminds me of the time when you just assumed that I would know how to bake bread. But you don't know what aubergine is. Oh, in Canada, they're called eggplants, I think. I think you use the same word as America. So these are aubergines. Aubergines. Yeah. And yeah. Oven, bit of oil. Grill with chili oil, says Ian. I like that idea. I am going to do that. I'm going to slice them that way. Yeah, I'll slice them that way. Although the Iranian style would be slice them that way. But yeah, I've got a bit of chili. I've got a bit of oil. They're not. It's not chili oil, but I've got oil and chili, and that reminds me I actually need to buy some oil later tonight when I'm cycling back. I need to stop off at Lidl or something. But yes, this is going to be my lunch and breakfast. And they used to be white, did they? I thought that the whites were a new thing. I do mine with garlic oil. Wow. Oh, I could put some garlic in the oven as well. I could put some garlic in the oven and some aubergines and then leave it there. I'm assuming like 20 minutes. Feel free to give me your cooking tips for aubergine. 20 minutes, and then I'll go for a quick wander, come back, and then have it ready to eat. Does that sound good? Yeah, garlic is amazing. Garlic is great. It's like puts an entire bottle. 20 should do nicely. Awesome. I'm excited for this. So yes, I've already recapped and wrapped up. Thank you very much, everyone. Ian, Timmy, Dina. It's been lovely. Oh, yay! I just won another match. 3 points to go to gold. Hey. Wonder if I can. So now if I refresh this, should be like 35 games, 29 victories, I guess. Hey. Yeah, I'm probably not the best at photosynthesis. I played two people who were possibly better than me. But garlic paste. Bonus if you've got time to turn them near the end, gets them a bit crispy on the edges. Now I'm just going to leave it while I walk out, and then I'll come back and then do the thing, because I need to get the things done. Not going to stay here. I'm going to put it in the oven, go out for the walk, come back, flush my mind. Lots of love. It has been lovely to be with you. Please share, spread the word if you want. Oh yeah, in 39 days time I've got a episode 1000, and I'm going to stop streaming daily after episode 1000. I probably will stream in some manner, maybe like once or twice a week, maybe like Wednesday mornings and Mondays, I don't know, like maybe 2 mornings and 1 evening. I'll stream sometimes, but certainly not 7 times a week as I currently do. And I'll probably after that do more reviews and stuff. But yeah, lots of love. It's been lovely having you. You know where I am, Stuff by Bez in all of the places. If you want to add me on Board Game Arena, I'm Stuff by Bez there. Share, spread the word. For the rest of the season, we've got some nice stuff coming up. We've got chats with Jess Medringham, Kirsten Lunde, more stuff with Alan Paul and Ben Downton and Phil Walker Harding. That should be good. And yeah, I'm going to be doing a show about Dicini and the charity games in Hereford, and yeah, Hereford games debrief. And then episode 1000 will have all sorts of amazing people like Ellie Dix and Tori Brown and Eric Royce and Amabel Holland and Elizabeth Hargrave and Eric Lang and Kathleen Mercury, Natalia Bizarre, Andy Looney possibly, and Kristen. I just had and yeah, all sorts of people, but lots of love. And there's not much more for me to say. Take care. Thank you very much. Am I doing Here for Games? Yes, I am. Mercury, yes, Mercury with 7 M's. I'm Tonga Lad on Board Game Arena. Feel free to send me an invite. Lots of love. And bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.